Seemingly irrational repetition becomes rational and fits the classical definition of insanity while disproving its implications. This idea is exemplified in the first scene of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, when Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are tossing coins and receiving results that defy reason and seemingly completely contradict probability.
Heads. 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 Heads.
There is an art to the building up of suspense,
Heads.
though it can be done by luck alone,
Heads.
if that's the word I'm after.
76 love. Heads.
A weaker man might be moved to re-examine his faith, if in nothing else, at least in the law of probability.
Heads.
The law of probability, it has been oddly asserted, is something to do with the proposition that if six monkeys were...
Game.
Were they?
Are you?
Game. The law of averages, if I have got this right, means that if 6 monkeys were thrown up in the air for long enough, they would land on their tails about as often as they would land on their...
Heads.
Which even at first glance does not strike one as particularly rewarding speculation, in either sense, even without the monkeys. You wouldn't bet on it. But you wouldn't.
Heads.
Would you?
Heads. Heads. Getting a bit of a bore, isn't it?
A bore?
Well,
What about the suspense?
what suspense?
It must be the law of diminishing returns. I feel the spell about to be broken. Well, it was an even chance if my calculations are correct.
85 in a row, beating the record.
Don't be absurd.
Easily.
Is that it, then? Is that all?
What?
A new record? Is that as far as you are prepared to go?
Well,
No questions? Not even a pause?
you spun them yourself.
Not a flicker of doubt?
Well, I won, didn't I?
And if you lost, if they'd come down against you 85 times, one after another, just like that?
85 in a row, tails?
Yes, what would you think?
Well, I'd have a good look at your coins for a start.
I'm relieved. At least we can still count on self-interest as a predictable factor. I suppose it's the last to go. Your capacity for trust made me wonder if perhaps you alone... Touch. We've been spinning coins together since... This is not the first time we have spun coins.
Oh no, we've been spinning coins for as long as I remember.
How long is that?
I forget, mind you, 85 times.
Yes.
It'll take some beating, I imagine.
Is that what you imagine? Is that it? No fear?
Fear?
Fear, the crack that might flood your brain with light.
Heads? I'm afraid.
So am I.
I'm afraid it isn't your day.
I'm afraid it is.
89.
It must be indicative of something besides the redistribution of wealth. List of possible explanations. 1. I'm willing it. Inside where nothing shows, I am the essence of a man spinning double-headed coins and betting against himself in a private atonement for an unremembered past.
Heads?
2. Time has stopped dead, and the single experience of one coin being spun once has been repeated 90 times. On the whole, doubtful. 3. Divine intervention, that is to say, a good turn from above concerning him. Compare children of Israel, a retribution from above concerning me. Compare Lot's wife. 4. A spectacular vindication of the principle that each individual coin spun individually is as likely to come down heads as tails, and therefore should cause no surprise each individual time it does.
I've never known anything like that.
The coin toss scene suggests that reason and rational probability can be placed at odds with empiricism. Although it is nearly impossible for a coin toss to result in heads nearly 100 times in a row, Rosencrantz is left completely unsurprised by the events, while Guildenstern irrationally continues to repeat the activity, rationally expecting a different result. This is likewise realized in the conflict Hamlet experiences when his quest for empirical evidence to support life or death leads to his indecisiveness and, ultimately, his insanity.